This week, Jim Sammons is hooked up with Jackson Kayak Fishing Team Europe in Karlskrona, Sweden for a fish-filled week, hunting for pike, trout, cod, and salmon. Guiding them is Jackson Kayak Team member and owner-operator of PikeStrike Sweden, Gunnar Ahlström.
Well, for me, I'm always talking about the whole picture. I want to be close to the nature. I want to be alone with the nature. I'm a guest in the nature. I am a guest in the pike's living room, I say.
Also on this adventure is Jackson Kayak Fishing Team Europe leader Jan Liska and his Czech teammates Jakub and Lukas.
Sweden is the mecca of fishing in Europe. You got pike mostly in inshore and the brackish waters, and they get ridiculously big because everybody catches and releases here since, I don't know, 10 years ago. So the big ones get even bigger, and the genes that are in the lakes and in the brackish water, they get better and better as the big fish are returned steadily into the water always.
And joining us from Sweden is Anton and Joel.
We got our second day on the water. We got the whole crew out here spread out, throwing a variety of lures. I'm throwing a Sebile stick shad, and first cast I got a fish.
And finally, joining Jim from Germany, Eric Lorenz.
I was 5 years old when my grandpa took me to fishing with his boat, and I always wanted to have a boat for me. So it's great to go out on the sea and do things like that. But the problem is that you need a trailer, you need a place to let it in the garage or whatever, and it's expensive. And the kayak is the thing between you.
This week while we were in Sweden, the kayak I was using was the Jackson Kayak Cuda 14. It's the kayak I use at home. It's the kayak I'm most comfortable with. It was great for paddling the long distances we were paddling, and when we were trolling, and the stability to stand up. It's a great kayak that I'm very comfortable in. The kayak that we had a whole bunch of Jackson kayaks on the water, honestly. Two of the guys were using the Jackson Kayak Big Tuna. It's a tandem, but it's very standable, and these guys are bigger guys, particularly Jan, very tall, so it's a great stand-up platform for him for sight casting to these big pike.
Yeah, I paddle the Big Tuna, and what I love about it is even when we get rough conditions, waves and wind, I can stand up in it. I can stand up fish, which is very important here. We're fishing for big pike, and if you do not strike, if you do not set the hook with all your might standing up, you will lose the fish. And I also take lots of stuff with me, so that's why the Big Tuna. I'm thinking about the Kilroy, but they're just playing with it because it's a bit faster, a bit lighter, or maybe the Big Rig later. Like, there's so many choices, but for the moment it's the Big Tuna. I'm putting on a JK custom-made lure. It's called a TNT Jerk, which is exactly what they want in those conditions. You know, we get sun, and hopefully we'll have one on these. Every time a person tries the kayak, they love it. It has never happened to me that a person would try the kayak out and would say, oh my God, I do not like this at all. That just does not happen. I mean, every fisherman has this sense for independence, freedom, roaming around to get the fish, and kayaks all about that. So everybody they all want it, but they might not know it yet. A 50 centimeter one, and something just ripped it off his hook. So yeah, we're in a good spot.
For outstanding customer service, expert advice, and an extensive selection of quality kayak fishing products, visit Hook One at kayakfishinggear.com.